Samsung Galaxy S23 vs S23 Plus vs S23 Ultra. What's the difference? Samsung's 2023 flagships have been revealed, which means you'll need a Samsung Galaxy S23 vs Galaxy S23 Plus vs Galaxy S23 Ultra comparison to help you choose between the new phones. And it's no easy task. The base Galaxy S23 is the cheapest model, and will also be more attractive to those who prefer smaller phones. The S23 Plus has a potentially winning blend of power and price, and the S23 Ultra gives you the best cameras and biggest screen. So, how do these three phones stack up against one another in various categories? And which one looks most deserving of your cash? Read on for all the details. And don't forget to check out our hands-on Samsung Galaxy S23 review, Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus review, and Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra review for our initial impressions. All three phones are available to pre-order now and will ship from Friday, February 17. You should check out our Samsung Galaxy S23 pre-orders page for the best offers on Samsung's new flagship phones. We also have a best Samsung Galaxy S23 deals page where you'll find exclusive promos, free device offers, and more. As you'd expect, pricing varies depending on which handset you choose, with different tiers for the various RAM and storage options. The base Galaxy S23 comes in 128GB or 256GB versions, each with 8GB RAM, with the 128GB model being the most affordable phone in the range at USD $799.99. The S23 Plus can be bought in 256GB or 512GB variants, again with 8GB RAM. With the Ultra, you get a choice of 256GB or 8GB RAM, 512GB and 12GB RAM, or a massive 1TB and 12GB version that costs a whopping USD $1,619.99. What that means in practice is that, compared to last year's Galaxy S22, pricing for the base S23 remains unchanged in the US, while there's an S80 price hike in the UK and a USD 10 increase in Australia. With the Galaxy S23 Plus, the base storage has been increased from 128GB to 256GB, and prices again increase outside of the US compared to the S22 Plus. Finally, with the Galaxy S23 Ultra, it's a similar situation. US customers pay around the same as for last year's S22 Ultra but get more storage in the base model, while those in the UK and Australia pay more for the 512GB or 1TB models. Obviously, price is relative based on what you get, so there's no winner here as such. In the US, the S23 is USD $200 cheaper than the S23 Plus, and that phone in turn is USD $200 less than the S23 Ultra, which all seems fair enough. It's fair to say that there's not much difference design-wise from last year's models. The Galaxy S23 is an evolution, not a revolution. However, the S23 and S23 Plus do have one key style change that moves them closer in looks to the S23 Ultra, namely that there's now an integrated camera module, rather than a raised contour cut bump as on the S22 and S21 equivalents. It's a look we like very much, so this is good news for buyers of the two cheaper models. All three phones also get Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on the front and back, so there's no difference there either. This is tougher than the previous version, but you'll probably still want one of the best Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra cases if you're buying one of the most expensive models. The entire line is I68 rated for water and dust, too. In fact, the only real design differences between the trio are their sizes, and the fact that the Galaxy S23 Ultra still has slightly more curved glass around the front, albeit it's been made flatter than on the Galaxy S22 Ultra. Even the four standard Samsung Galaxy S23 color options are the same. You can get all three phones in cream, lavender, green, and phantom black. There are further two options for all three phones if you buy your Galaxy S23 directly from Samsung: lime and sky blue. Finally, the Galaxy S23 Ultra is also available in graphite or red from the Samsung store. The screen size is the biggest visual difference between the three Galaxy S23 models. The base Galaxy S23 display is 6.1 inches with a 2340 into 1080 resolution, and the S23 Plus is 6.6 inches with the same resolution. The S23 Ultra, meanwhile, has a 6.8-inch display with 3088 into 1440 pixels. All the displays are AMOLED, with adaptive 120Hz refresh rates. However, the Ultra is able to drop down to 1Hz as per last year's model, giving it an advantage over the other two, which can both go no lower than 48Hz. When it comes to saving battery life, all three also have the same max brightness level, 1750 nits. Rumors that the S23 Ultra would be able to hit 2150 nits proved unfounded. Sadly, cameras have always been one of the key differentiators between the base, Plus and Ultra models of Samsung's Galaxy S range, and it looks like that trend is continuing this year. The headline difference is that the S23 Ultra now has a 200MP main sensor, compared to the 50MP camera on the S23 and S23 Plus or the 108MP camera on the S22 Ultra. But that only tells half the story. because that 200MP ISO HP2 sensor has a few very clever tricks. For instance, it uses Samsung's adaptive pixel technology to do something called pixel binning, which sees multiple pixels combined to boost their light gathering power. By default, those 200MP images will be pixel binned by 16:1 to produce 12.5MP images. But you can also opt for a 4:1 mode that outputs 50MP photos.